Hey guys, or ladies I should say, because I really created this video for the ladies out there that are also Thunder fans or basketball fans, because these last couple of months, or I guess the last month, has been kind of crazy for us in Oklahoma, and I've just been so emotionally invested in like everything that's been going on, almost to an obsessive amount, and everything's been really dramatic and upsetting. And anyway, so I was just trying to figure out what in the world and why was I so emotionally invested in all this. It's driving my husband crazy. And so I watched Russell's press conference yesterday, and of course cried as soon as he got out of the car and everybody started cheering. And I was relieved that he was staying, but I was also, it was the crowd and there's the joy that was in the crowd that, you know, here he was, and he chose us and he was staying. So I kind of thought about it all day, and then my husband came home from work and he hadn't seen the press conference, and so he watched it, and so I listened to it again. And so when I went to bed last night, that's sort of what was on my mind, and I was still like, why am I so emotionally invested in this? And then it finally came to me about 3 o'clock in the morning, when most of my ideas that I use for writing and that type of thing actually do come to me. It came to me. So today I'm going to share with you why I think I get so emotionally invested in this and why I think you might too. Of course, I am a storyteller, and I am in the middle of working on a couple of scripts right now, so I think maybe that had something to do with it. I'm kind of in that teen rom-com world right now, but that's what I'm going to equate this to. An 80s teen romantic comedy. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And let's look at it this way. Oklahoma, right? If you look at the whole NBA, it's like high school, right? And you've got Golden State Warriors, who they're basically the most popular people in school, and everybody, you know, they get everybody they want, and they're rich, and they live in great houses and drive perfect cars and all of that. That's Golden State. And then you have all these other little, you know, you have maybe New York, and they're the hip, cool kids, and they got money too, and they drive great cars too. And then you have, let's say, I mean, I guess if we're going to talk 16 candles language, then you have like Cleveland, and maybe they're the long duck dong of the NBA. I mean, they're not the most beautiful place and not the most appealing, but they still got someone, right? They still got someone. And we've always sort of been considered like the Samantha Baker of the 16 Candles world. We're just kind of, nobody really notices us, and I don't think anybody thinks we have much potential. And so, you know, it just kind of, maybe we've had a boyfriend, or we did have a boyfriend. We loved him. We loved him so much, and we gave him everything we could, and he said all the right things and did all the right things and went on. It was a great relationship for a while, and then it turns out, truth be told, being blunt, we just wouldn't put out. We didn't put out, and he wanted to be with somebody that would put out. So here we are, going to geometry class. We get a note from someone in class, and we find out our boyfriend broke up with us. And not only did he break up with us, he left us for one of the people from California, one of the cool kids, and it like stung. And so we went home and we tore up his t-shirt that smelled like him and got rid of all of our pictures of him, or cut his face out and all that great stuff. And we were heartbroken because we're just the plain girl that nobody really wants and nobody really notices, right? I mean, we're Samantha Baker. We're cool, but nobody notices it. We have a lot to offer, but nobody wants what we have, right? Well, so then yesterday rolls around, and here we are. We're kind of, you know, at our sister's wedding, basically, wearing our ugly bridesmaid gown, and we have to see we have to see Kevin, or the player who should not be named, for playing for the U.S. Olympic team with his girlfriend, basically, and then Long Duck Dong and his relationship, that's going so great. We got nothing. We're wearing an ugly dress. And then, when we least expect it, our Jake Ryan pulls up in the sports car and climbs out. He's right in front of us, and he waves. Like, I think of that moment, and for me that moment was yesterday morning when I woke up and I saw Russell's tweet that he had sent out, and it was him in his Oklahoma City Thunder uniform at the stadium, and he had his arms up, and I was like, did he pick us? Like, us? Are we it? Are we? And I'm looking around, and I texted my son, and I was like, does this mean he picked us? Did he pick us? And my son was like, I think so, yeah. And so I didn't want to get my hopes up, but I was like, I'm not going to believe it till I, you know, hear it out of his mouth. And then the press conference came, and it was like that moment when we were like, us? And he was like, yeah, you. I mean, it was just sort of like, of course, you know, I see you. I see who you are. I see your potential. I know that you can love me best. And it was just sort of that culmination. And it was like, oh my gosh, we're the Samantha Baker, and a Jake Ryan just picked us. It's like the ultimate cool. And so for this 80s girl and rom-com lover, but also sports lover, Boomer Sooner and Thunder Up and all that, I finally had to kind of just make sense of it in the way that I could. And that's why I'm so emotional and so excited about this, because I finally got my Jake Ryan. How about you?